Germany, tucked away in a postcard valley, is an amazing little hamlet. 1.5 hours drive southeast of Frankfurt. It's called Bronnbach. It's a very quiet little township. There are, of course, buildings, some really interesting sheds. Truckloads of statues. Wonderful ornaments hanging off the buildings, some of which I can't explain. There's also the pub, a community centre, some locals quietly going about their business, and a really big church. Not many of us get the chance to see the sights, immerse ourselves in the taste and the rich cultural history that exists in these small German farming towns. And here in this incredibly historic village, something amazing is happening. "50 very talented Australians are breaking their silence in this extremely quiet village." With generous support, these students from the Sydney Conservatorium of Music get to mix it up, rehearse, perform, rub shoulders with the Europeans in the heartland of music's classical origins.
Just generally play softer because you are in front of the Madonna there and she makes you sound bigger. But könnte ich ein bisschen mehr vom Tuba haben? 110. Thanks. You see where you are?
Over 10 days, this talented orchestra will be performing 5 concerts as part of the Bronnbach Music Festival. Most of the performances will happen here in this giant historic church. Regardless that Bronnbach is 30 kilometres to the nearest service station, the locals seem to be frocking up and flocking in to hear this Australian orchestra play.
Because this church, otherwise we are going to fly out of this church. It will be too loud. So please keep it softer. Let's go from the beginning.
Where do you think in Sydney or Australia the student's going to get this kind of educational experience?
Where do you have a 14th century cloister, an acoustic like this, Europeans coming from all around the next 60 kilometers of Frankfurt, doctors and lawyers coming because they believe they should listen to music. It's a way of life. It's a birthright here. It's an absolutely daily event, and it's in every local paper on the front pages.
It's a very, very important experience they take with these fantastic impressions about this culture and this atmosphere. And I'm sure they never forget this week in their life. You know, some things you can't explain them very well. You have to see it. So And this is a typical case, you know, you have to stay here to see how it is, and so you understand immediately that it's very, very special, very special.
Wake up, guys! It's a little faster than you thought. And pianissimo, pianissimo. Still not fast enough.
I want to thank Professor Reiner Schmidt and also Professor Palló, who will be conducting. They're two Europeans that have joined us in Sydney. And as they say, you need a great dream to create the future. They are dreamers, they realize these dreams, they bring these dreams to the next generation. And we are very privileged to be a part of today's festivities and join in so many opportunities this week in Bronnbach and here as well. So thank you very much. On behalf of the Conservatorium, we're delighted to be here. Thank you.
It's really important. I mean, this is where the music comes from, essentially, particularly what we're playing on this trip. And yeah, it's great to see it in that regard.
I guess, like our professors like Reiner Schmidt and Imre, they have brought this European tradition of music to Sydney. It's quite different being actually here, and you know, being in the churches and the kind of environment that the composers back then would have been.
The colours and the texture around seem to make sense with a lot of the music that we're playing. It's so different from Australia in that way.
You're actually part of an incredibly old tradition.
Well, I definitely think as a musician it's important to see various parts of the world, especially, you know, Germany.
Being in our own little corner of the world, you're not sure what's out there.
I feel very challenged, and I want to learn more from them, how they play and how they treat the music.
It places a lot of the music we've been playing. It brings us sort of back in time and history. At the student level, we're all just students, and no matter what country you go to, we all have something to learn still.